Coach Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey,
You guys entered the fourth quarter with the lead. Where did you see it get away from you guys in the final frame?
Well, I think it started, and I'll have to look back at the film. It started with we had a couple a lot of live ball turnovers, as well as defending without fouling. We ended up getting into the bonus quickly in that situation. So I really just believe we talked about the aggression, but we also have to understand when to be aggressive and not getting them to the free throw line.
You guys, outscored them by 30 in the paint. Usually that's a recipe for success. What did you see in the interior tonight?
Well, I liked our ability to attack the basket. I think the one thing that we're going to continue to get better at and recognize more is recognizing when we are in the bonus and learning to attack the rim in those situations. The ball will continue to move, and just being able to attack the rim and find the open shot. Now, mind you, looking at the film, I'll have to go back and see, but we had a ton of open looks that I know we did knock down. But again, finding those open looks and being able to sit down and knock them down, and then defending without fouling down the stretch.
Jamahl, you just mentioned it right there, defending without fouling. You guys seem to do a much better job of that in the first half. I think the Clippers didn't shoot a free throw in the first quarter. They had a handful in the second, but they finished with 27. I guess what changed? Like what happened, I guess, from that standpoint?
Oh, we talk about we don't mind the physicality as much, but I think us doing a better job of recognizing when we can be aggressive. Obviously, they picked up those quick 3 fouls moving into the quarter, and then we got to play, with our hands back, showing our length, showing our verticality, and then being in position early. Again, looking back at the film, have to really study it and understand, like when we get to that bonus, understanding showing your hands more versus that level of aggression at the rim.
We talked about this maybe the previous game. Is this another situation? I know you said you had to watch the film, but of doing your homework early, and then you'll be in that better position to defend.
Well, credit to them. They did a lot of things right, putting us in different situations. Kennard coming off, Coffee making shots. Again, they had a couple guys step up for them. But again, like looking back at the film, we have to really just recognize where we can continue to get better.
Coach Cole matched his career high in assists. What were you seeing from him from a playmaking standpoint tonight?
Well, early on, finding the easy play, the simple play, and that's what we talked about in the first half was our ability to just keep the ball moving, keep it moving around the horn. Again, that's part of those open looks that we were getting. Obviously, we weren't able to knock a bunch of those shots down, but the ball was popping early on, and I think that's that has to be our calling card when it comes to ball and body movement.
And Coach, Gary Harris, regardless of the role you seem to put in, he gives you a professional effort. Just how much of a luxury is it to have a guy like that on the squad?
Well, I think it really is just such a luxury to have him out there. Just offensively, again, being able to step in and make shots, but then defensively, the job he's trying to do, guarding Kennard, who, at times can get hot. But I think, for the most part, he did a pretty good job on him early on.
Coach Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. I know you're talking about that balance between being aggressive without sending them to the foul line. So let's talk about the positive side of that. We saw a lot of dunks tonight. Kind of talk about what you saw out of Mo Bamba and Franz Wagner. I think he got a couple dunks in there. Kind of talk about that.
Well, we continue to talk about the ability to finish around the rim. So at times they're small. And so our ability to attack the rim was one thing that we wanted to continue to talk about. Mo being around the rim with, trying to get some dynamic rim runs and rolls. Franz turning the corner. Jalen did a good job turning the corner at times. I mean, Cole early on was getting downhill, putting pressure on the rim. And I think that opened up actually a ton of the open looks that we had. Just we weren't able to step in and knock them down tonight.
Philip Rossman, right, on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Obviously the fourth quarter, with the way the Clippers were able to kind of deal that run to you. I know you talk a lot about how this is game of runs and you have to learn how to handle them. But how much does experience play a role in that? And how much, again, maybe not positive experiences, but just kind of going through these and learning how to handle your emotions. How much does that help with the development of this team?
Well, I think it's a big time growth for the understanding, if it's not the third quarter, understanding it's the fourth quarter, that we have to sustain our effort and then continue to play the way in which got us the lead. I think it's the more we can learn that, the more we'll grow and the better we'll become.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Cole, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. you guys headed into the fourth quarter with the lead. You know, where did you see it get away from you guys in the final frame?
We messed up on our part by less than 2 minutes into the quarter, putting them in the bonus, and that kind of changes our whole game plan. Because at that point, all right, we can't be as aggressive defensively as we want to. They like anytime we foul them, anytime we bail them out, anything, we give them opportunity to get 2 free points. So on our part, we got to be better. So I think that's probably one of the main things. And then also this, as the second half came on, they got more aggressive, and I think they just outworked us.
You guys outscored them by 30 points in the paint. Usually, you know, that's a recipe for success. You know, what were some of the looks you were getting early on in the interior, and the way you guys were able to penetrate against their defense?
I think, you know, we got some really good looks early where, you know, we got some dudes cutting. We had a lot of dudes cutting. We had some pocket passes to our bigs. They finished. And we had just some fast break points where we just, you know, kind of just got out. And so we were able to get a lot of easy ones. And that's what I think for the first half, you know, kind of gave us that lead. In the second half, you know, we started to play slower, and they started to just outwork us and just, you know, we're just more physical than us, just kind of just wanted more. So that's on our part, learning experience. I mean, we just got to be better.
Cole, what led to, what were the Clippers doing, or were you guys not doing that led to getting that early foul trouble in the fourth quarter?
You know, I'd probably say it was a combination of the offensive rebounds. We probably gave up like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in that first just 2 minutes. We talking about the fourth quarter, right? Yeah, just in that first 2 minutes. And then, my fault. What was it? I just zoned it. What was the question?
Doing well, or were you guys not doing right?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, they were driving, and we just, you know, we were bailing them out. We just, you know, having our hands down, not showing length like Coach Alex says all the time, and just, you know, just it's just on our part. It's just lazy on our part. So we got to be better than that.
Jamal's been saying this, you know, defending without fouling, kind of thing. Doing your work early, I guess, as players, how do you change that? How do you, I guess, implement that?
Like just doing your work early. Just
you as a player.
I thought we actually did a pretty good job early. I thought we forced a bunch of turnovers, honestly, in that first half. And you know, kind of set the tone defensively, which was able to give us that lead. And then second half, I think we got away from that, and that's why they became the aggressors, and we were kind of on our heels for that whole second half, and that's why they were ultimately able to win that game.
Phil Rossman-Reich on Zoom.
Hey Cole, you kind of talk about how you're on your heels a little bit in that second half. How do you kind of take that momentum back? Is it just a matter of kind of composing yourself, or just someone going out and making a play and just kind of being able to take a bit of a breath? Like how do you kind of get that momentum back? And is it just something that you just kind of have to learn how to do through experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's not easy to do. Kind of once the team is taking the momentum, especially that late into the game, it's kind of hard to flip the script and get that back. But I mean, it's something that, you know, as professionals and as, you know, people who love this game, it's something we're going to have to figure out. And I think the more we play, I mean, even this guy, I think we could have done it very easily. If we all collectively worked harder, and not just worked harder, worked smarter. I mean, look, I think if we don't put them in that foul trouble, I think we could have, you know, been the aggressors. But, you know, when you put a team in the bonus with 10 minutes to play left in the game, like, it's hard to, you know, say the aggressors, because you got to kind of defend, you know, keep your hands out. You don't want to, you know, just put them on a free throw line, give them free points. So it's definitely tough.
Go ahead, Phil.
Cole, just kind of talking a little bit about your game. You had a decent shooting night tonight. I know there's been some struggles with the shot, but your playmaking, your assists have been up. How important has it been to kind of build up your ability to make assists and find others as maybe you're going through maybe a little bit of a funk offensively, or not, or as teams are keying on you a little bit more defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think teams have been keying in on me defensively, even while I'm in this funk. Like, so, but I've talked with Mose, I've talked with Coach Murmis, Coach Nate Tibbs, Coach Oz. I kind of talk with everyone, all the coaches, and, you know, they've kind of just told me, yo, like, go out there, you know, try to get as many rebounds as you can, try to defend at a high level, and, you know, try to just continue to make plays for others. You know, let the offense come back to you, because I'd say I'm probably out of rhythm right now, in a little bit of a funk. But you know, I think I'm coming out of that funk, honestly, and you just don't want to force the game too much. And so finally tonight got a little something going, but just, you know, it wasn't enough to help us get the dub.
Okay. Any final questions for Cole?
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Cole.
Go ahead, Dan.
Franz, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. You guys, you know, entered the fourth quarter with the lead. Where did you see it get away from you guys in the final frame?
Well, first of all, I think we fouled way too much in the fourth quarter. I think they were in the bonus really early, and then even in the last couple of minutes, yeah, even if it wasn't a rebound on a drive, swiping down, I think we just got to be more solid and yeah, make them make tough shots. I think they did make some tough shots all game, but you know, when it's a close game like that, you want to, yeah, you want to make them have to keep doing that, and I think that would have given us a better chance to win. And offensively, I think we didn't execute as good, and you know, we're kind of stuck in the 80s for a long period of time there.
Franz, what changed defensively for you guys that led to the increased fouls in that fourth quarter, especially at the beginning of the fourth quarter?
I mean, it's a physical game. It's a fast game. Mistakes going to happen. Like I said, somewhere on a drive, nobody's trying to foul out there, so some mistakes are just going to happen. But even if it's a missed assignment or a missed box out, just got to be smarter, I think. But I mean, we didn't really change anything. We try to play physical, but you got to play smart at the same time.
Maybe like technique errors that you felt like were being made out there that led to the fouling?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't remember everybody else's plays, but I swiped down on the Reggie Jackson drive. Everybody can hear that I fouled him. So if I just stay solid and he makes a tough floater, maybe he makes it, maybe he doesn't. But we're gonna live with that shot and not with him at the free throw line. So
Phil Prossman, right on Zoom.
Hey, Franz, just, you know, obviously the fouling maybe kind of decreased the aggression, but when momentum's kind of going against you like that, what do you guys have to do, or what do you guys have to learn to do to kind of get it back in these kinds of situations?
I mean, continue to get good shots on one end, but I think the way we get rhythm in most of our games is when we get stops and we get out and run, and really hard to stop in transition, and you can't do that when you foul every time. So I think it's kind of caused by fouling so much that we didn't have a great rhythm in that last quarter too. But we have some good plays where we have very talented players, and we got to find ways to execute against their switching, and then when they're big and against their drop defense. So I mean, I don't remember every play, so gotta look at the film and gotta be better next time.
Franz, Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Obviously a short turnaround time before the next game, but what are you going to be focusing on specifically for yourself in terms of improvement for that next game?
I think reading defenses. I think offensively, there were a couple situations where I either got sped up or didn't make the best play, but then defensively, like I said, I think a big part today was that we fouled them way too much and didn't box out great, and those are pretty easy to fix. I think just focusing better on those things and then learn from it, and then players are good. Sometimes you're gonna foul, but continuously trying to make them take a tougher shot, I think that's going to be important for us next game.
We're good, Josh. Any other questions for Franz? All right, thank you.
Thanks.